What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up to all of my friends and family in the building? I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that already hit me off early in the morning before the show even start with an appreciation cash app. I appreciate that. Thank you, my friends. Thank you to everybody holding me down. I want to give a special shout out to Mike, that dude, early, right away. And my dog, Spencer Campbell, says, "Good morning, AD. What's happening? Chef G Rap yesterday. I love you. Thank you to everybody that continues to hold us down. What's up, family? Man, we made it to another Friday. Can't y'all get appreciative and say I appreciate for making it to another Friday? It's Friday, y'all. Man, we had an awesome show last night. It is Friday, and the building says good morning to Anton. Ben says good morning, Anton, and to all of the common sense thinkers in the chat. Common sense ain't common. Common sense ain't common. Hound says, bruh, the black community needs to learn how to disown people. Aaron White says, so confused. We have thousands of black men killing other black men. I never seen a GoFundMe account for any of the killers. What up to my dog, Jay Ben? Your car in the building. Banks, Purple Haze, Azriel, what up? Juan says, top of the day. Quentin, shout out to my dog, Quentin. In the building. Bag chasers in the building. Time to get early morning blessings, says Abundance Mindset. Money Making Fridays, says Berta's baby boy. Molly, what up, Molly? Molly had her clavicles out. Is that what you call them? I need to look up what a clavicle is. I'm so chill. I'm so chill today. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I am just so smooth. I'm just smooth. Smooth as eggs. Are eggs smooth? I don't know. Life is good, man. It's almost like I'm just on like mono, like that monotone versus being in stereo or high definition. Sometimes you just want to chill. You want to just slow motion. I'm in that type of mood. Last night was crazy. Yes, clavicles. Though that's what they name they clavicles. I'm gonna have to get Molly down here. Get her into the city. See what she talking about. Molly was disagreeing with me, y'all, last night on the show. Molly was disagreeing with me last night on the show. I wanted to keep that same energy in person. Keep that same energy in person. You know what I'm saying? So Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. Molly and Quentin was agreeing, though. That's for sure. That is for sure. Man, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Ladies, get it for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. If my beard is a little bit discombobulated, that's because I had on my helmet today, not the Room 9 helmet like some of y'all may think. I had on my motorcycle helmet because I'm riding. I'm in the street. So if you see me looking like a ninja swooping through with the tinted visor on my helmet, just know I came and I went. You know what I'm saying? Jarius Phillips. Anton, fly me out. Let me sit on the black couch. What up, Ben? Shout out to my people in Ontario. Shout out to everybody in the building. Miss Freckles, I love you. Shout out to everybody. Zeroyce, rules of engagement, housekeeping. You're free to disagree. You're free to have a difference of opinion. Just don't get disrespectful. That should go without saying. We all grown. We shouldn't have to get no warnings on that front. Secondly, we don't ask for super chats, but we definitely, absolutely 100% appreciate the people. So we always going to show love to the people that always support the platform. Thank you. Your minimum entrance exams are due. And on that exam, all you got to do in order to get 100% is hit a like for the algorithm. That's your reasonable admission. And make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right. You said you look like a hitman when you riding. Everything for me is white. White on white on white. All white cars, all white motorcycles. Black helmet though. I got to get the black helmet with the black jacket on. So I'm black gloves, black jacket, black helmet, but all white. All white everything. All right, y'all ready to go ahead and get started with the show? We're going to talk about it, Andrea. We're definitely going to get into it. Let me read some of these super chats and then we'll go get it popping. What's up, Jerry? What up, J Air E? A Slick Wickajick says, please look at this case and Allison stabbing of Joe Ramirez Jr. Prosecutor says Case and Allen, then 18, stabbed Jose. Is it Jose? Jose Luis Joe Ramirez Jr. 18. Email it to me, AntonDaniels413 at gmail.com, and then I'm going to remember it because I need that digital footprint. Chat for more says, I think I'm watching too much of your content. You was in my dream educating me on how the buffet restaurant and union strikes work while I was at war. That mean you got to share me with your family and friends, Chad from Morris. At least I was educating you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. J Air E. That's how we calling her. We not calling her Jerry no more. We calling her J Air E. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Again, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe. You know the slogan. You know the slogan. I ain't gotta say it. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. And turn on your notifications. We got a full show today. We're going to cover everything that's happening at FSU first. We definitely going to get to this Karmelo, Anthony, and Austin Metcalf press conference. I'm going to tell you, y'all are sickening. Let me go ahead and say a quick prayer for the people in the back. Lord, be with us today. Bless and quench the thirst of such a fiery heart of people that have no vested interest in whether or not this case is going to go left or if it's going to go right. Rebuke people, and not just black people, also white people. Rebuke people from making everything a race war. People can't wait to amp it up and blow it up, and y'all doing this more and promoting it more than if y'all was promoting a boxing match. I haven't seen this level of groundwork since the election in November. People are really, really blowing this up between kids. Kids who both families are hurt. Nobody woke up that morning and anticipating what was going to happen with their kid. And we are all just, we can't wait to incite a riot, boy. We just can't wait to incite a riot. I don't know why people are just so desperate to create some kind of war between white people and black people. Haven't y'all learned from Russia and Ukraine that nothing good comes from that? We're going to cover that too. In Jesus' name, Lord, be with us. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into the show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Okay, so yesterday a tragedy took place in Florida State University where 2 people were killed, 6 people were injured from a student, and his name, 20 years old, was Phoenix Ickner. Phoenix Ickner. I did cover it when it first broke yesterday. They did cancel school for today, and they did cancel all of the sports activities over the weekend, right? And so everything is looking to resume on Monday. But let me bring you guys up to speed on what happened. Very, very tragic situation and story. Again, 2 people were killed and 6 people injured. This was the latest of what was going on.
First, though, the shooting at Florida State University.
Yeah, 2 people were killed and 6 others injured when police said a 20-year-old student opened fire near the crowded student union. Faith Abube is on campus at Florida State University with the latest. Good morning, Faith.
Good morning to you, Mike. It all happened right around here at the Student Union building this morning. The campus community waking up with a heavy sense of grief and disbelief. When the shots rang out yesterday, many of them took off running in panic, terrified for their lives. They'll be able to come back today to retrieve their personal belongings, many of them leaving behind laptops, bags, cell phones, and other personal belongings. This morning, the desperate search for a motive after authorities say the stepson of a sheriff's deputy killed 2 people and injured 6 others at Florida State University.
This event is tragic.
Chaos in and around the Student Union building as gunshots rang out just before noon Thursday.
I heard about like 12 shots go off like in my vicinity, like probably around like 300 feet from me.
Police analyzing this disturbing video, which appears to show a man squaring off and firing. People heard screaming as they ran for cover. Third-year student Mackenzie Heater telling us she was just feet away from the suspect when he started shooting.
I noticed he was waving around a bigger rifle. That's when he shot the rifle, and I was just confused, like, was that really just a shot? And that's when I noticed him go in his car and pull out the handgun and then shoot that woman.
Police racing to the scene. Many students and professors using anything they could use, even this piano, to barricade themselves inside classrooms. Some students using gum as tape to cover the windows.
I hear bop, bop, bop. The teacher was asking if any of us had tape to tape up some paper, and no one had tape, and so some of us, we just like got out gum and started chewing so we could stick some paper to the windows.
Law enforcement going building to building, door to door, clearing the campus.
After like 20 minutes, they told us to put our hands up, and we come out.
Put your hands up, walk out this door. Students walking out with their hands on their heads. More than 3 hours after the first gunshots, the school announcing law enforcement neutralized the threat. Authorities say they shot him after he ignored repeated commands to drop his weapon. The accused shooter seen here in an ambulance being shackled to a stretcher.
A lot of times, when you see these situations, I've reviewed enough of them on this Millionaire Morning Show, whether it's been at churches, whether it's been at schools, whether it's been at major universities. A lot of times you see these people trying to have a death by suicide. They are not trying to necessarily take themselves out for whatever reason, which we're still looking for a motive. They do these mass shootings, which is weird to me because they never call it a mass shooting whenever they do a drive-by inside of a neighborhood or whenever they start shooting up the black communities. It's not a mass shooting. It's just business as usual. But a lot of times these people, they try to have a death by suicide and they want some level of responsibility to go on to law enforcement as to taking their life. And that's one of the reasons why they don't comply. But we'll actually see this person more than likely brought to justice as a result of committing this mass shooting at Florida State University. Let's learn more about him.
Suspect identified as Phoenix Eichner, a 20-year-old FSU student.
Quentin says 2 people is barely a mass shooting. That's not true, Quentin. He shot 8 people. 2 people died. 6 people got injured. So 8 people got shot before he got taken down. And he wanted to do more. So I would consider 8 people a mass shooting. You wouldn't consider 8 people? If you go through and you shoot 8 people straight, that's pretty massive. I would consider that a mass shooting all day long.
Student whose stepmother is a veteran deputy with the local sheriff's department.
Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene.
Investigators say the suspect had both a handgun and a shotgun. The shooting sparking new debate about gun violence across the country. Some of the students on campus survived the 2018 shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida.
And that's how they make it political. Now it becomes something that they use on the political spectrum in order to try to pass stricter gun laws and all of this stuff and try to restrict your rights. The minute that something happens on a campus or something like that, then it becomes a more extreme situation for them to pass more gun laws and talk about it on the campaign trail. And this is how they then restrict your stuff, because they use these large-scale public displays and acts of violence to then pass these laws or try to get the people to support them on the left or the right as far as what gun violence is. Because the people on the right is going to say, well, if people had the right to carry, then you would have had somebody stop this and so many people wouldn't have got injured. And then the people on the left going to say, see, we need more restrictions and all of this, even though neither have anything to do with anything whatsoever.
President Trump reacting from the Oval Office.
Look, I'm a big advocate of the Second Amendment. I have been from the beginning. I protected it. And these things are terrible. But the gun doesn't do the shooting. The people do. It's, a phrase that's used probably too often.
So let's go over to the press conference really quickly, because I want y'all to hear it straight from the horse's mouth about what happened, and this is how it played out.
Hey, good afternoon. We are coming that took place hour. NBC News people are receiving treatment, and local officials still very monitoring.
My name is Jason Trumbauer, and I'm the chief of police at Florida State University. All Florida State University classes and business operations on the main campus in Tallahassee are canceled through Friday, April 18th. Essential employees should check with their supervisors for further reporting instructions. All FSU athletic events in Tallahassee are canceled through Sunday. At approximately 11:50 a.m., Thursday, April 17th, a gunman opened fire on the main campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee, shooting multiple individuals in the vicinity of the Student Union building. FSU police responded immediately, engaged, neutralized, and apprehended the shooter.
And this is another reason why we want to make sure that we support law enforcement, and we want public safety to always be a priority, because when you need them, you need somebody else to appear. You don't want more people to die as a result of that lack of response. You hear me, Chicago? You hear me, these liberal cities, these liberal states? We actually want more police presence, because it's not that they prevent us from doing anything that we want to do, but they prevent certain crimes, and their response time is very important in order to save lives. So if you don't have a strong police presence in public safety, Chicago, Brandon Johnson, then it could have got worse than it already was. But shout out to all of the police officers and the first responders that take care of business.
2 victims of deceased are deceased, and 5 individuals have been transported to a local hospital with gunshot wounds. The shooter has also been transported to a local hospital. The 2 deceased are not students. The shooter is believed to be a current FSU student. I do not have additional information on the shooter's identity at this time. Students who need assistance can go to the Donald L. Tucker Center, where the university is providing counseling, health care, and other support services. Family members are also able to go to the Tucker Center for assistance. Students, faculty, and staff are asked to call their loved ones as soon as possible to update them on their status. The student union and the surrounding area is still considered an active crime scene. Individuals should avoid the area. Students should not return to the student union to retrieve personal property at this time. Students may return to their residence halls, but they should otherwise stay indoors on main campus to allow first responders and university staff to do their jobs and respond to those needing assistance. Students may depart campus for the weekend. All classes have been canceled through Friday.
Dude, frustrated.
Before I turn this over to Chief Revel, I want to thank all the brave men and women of the FSU PD for responding immediately to the scene. I also want to thank the responding agencies who have provided assistance to FSU today big time, including the Tallahassee Police Department, the Leon County Sheriff's Office, the Florida Highway Patrol, Leon County Emergency Medical Services, FDLE, and all other responding agencies today. We really appreciate your support. That's all the information I have at this time. We'll have additional update for you later today. Chief Revel.
Good afternoon. I am Chief Revel with the Tallahassee Police Department. As the shooting occurred today, our officers, as well as every single other officer in this city and county, responded immediately to this scene. Once on scene and once we began working through what was occurring and what we were working in consultation with FSU, Tallahassee Police Department was asked to take lead on this. So we will be the lead for this investigation in both the officer involved shooting portion of this as well as the homicide portion of this. I will come up after the last speaker and entertain just a few questions, but needless to say, we have multiple crime scenes. This is a very large area we're covering. We have thousands, hundreds of thousands, or hundreds or thousands of witnesses. And again, this is an active, ongoing investigation. So the information that we will be allowed to release right now may be fairly limited. I'll answer what I can at that time. But I will assure you that as soon as we can, any information that becomes available, we will make that available to you. One of the things in the process, and again, understand that this is an ongoing active investigation. So things are happening as we are standing here and as we are speaking. We have identified the shooter, obviously. He's at the hospital.
Thanks for.
A lot of people are saying that it's this left-leaning guy. I think that the best example that I can use for you guys is a person that's saying that the suspect, the shooter, attacked multiculturalism in classrooms. Let me go ahead and play a little bit of that. I think that's towards the end of this video in particular. Let me see if I can find it. There's several different people that are saying that they knew him.
Union where the shooting happened. Can you just tell me kind of when you realized that it was actually a shooting that was happening and then what happened next?
For sure, Omar. So we were, like you said, we were working on a group project in our classroom. And then two students ran in yelling about a shooting. So we immediately did as we were taught to do in high school. We turned off the lights, locked the doors, barricaded under our desks. And, you know, for about the hour that we were barricaded, we could hear gunshots. And then three distinct times I remember someone trying to open our door. The second two times I know to be the police, but the first time everyone thought it was the shooter. Now that we know he was shot outside the student union, we know it wasn't him, but we were in there, you know, hugging those next to us in some level of comfort, whether we knew them or not. You know, I was texting those I love in you know, and similarly to what you would have seen the videos from 9/11. Hey, I love you. I may never see you again. I might be dying.
How do I speak to this while maintaining a level of sensitivity to the situation? White people are so dramatic. White people are so dramatic. They can't wait to do an interview. They can't wait to get some clout off of it. They can't wait to say that they knew the person. Oh my God, I don't know you, but I'm hugging you because this may be the last time that we see each other. Hey, listen, I might die today, so make sure that you plan my funeral correctly. Come on, family. I don't know. Maybe it's just the PTSD in me that grew up in the hood, that I'm used to hearing sirens, and it was so weird moving out into the suburbs because it was so silent that I couldn't even go to sleep and sleep the whole way night through for a whole week. And then I didn't realize what it was. It was all of the crickets that I was hearing. I didn't realize what it was. Yes, K. Cooper. Yes. Oh my God, I might die today. Come on, family. Come on, dog. Because I'm used to hearing gunshots, I'm used to hearing it in the hood. Now I'm so far removed from it that it's not a thing. But it's just like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, family. Sleeping the crickets is the best. Sleeping to that silence is the best. It's the best ever. It's the best ever. You say, yeah, I think we got PTSD to an extent. We're used to it. Yeah. Look, man, if you try to hug me, I don't even care if this might be our last moments. The last thing I'm thinking about is a hug. Honestly, if the last thing that I'm thinking about is for hugging, I'm trying to get behind the person that is behind the person that is in front of the person that's in front of me. Hiding just like this. Trying to use you as a human shield. No, you the tough one. You gonna stop him? You gonna stop him? Okay, who's the first line of defense, second line of defense? He can't shoot us all. You gonna go first. You gonna go second. Is the door locked over there? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and is the window unlocked? I need to know what's going on. I'm trying to get does the window come all the way down like this? You know how I fold like this, or does it lift up like that? Because if it lift up like that, I see y'all next in 2 weeks. I'm going home. I'm trying to see how far is my car away from campus. All right, because if I could run, not to sit here. It might be the last. I'm not texting nobody. The only thing you're going to hear me say, usually, yo, with a whole bunch of O's. Crazy in here. Trying to figure out if the window's open. How do we get out? Yo, how far? You parked over there? Fam, let's get to your car and you can drop me off at my car because I ain't trying to be stuck here all day. It's going to be crazy once the police get here. I'm out. I'm not sitting there talking. I don't want to kick it. I don't want to hug you. I don't want to bond with you. I don't want to be a witness. I'm not going on the news. I don't want to talk about it. I'm gone. I'm out. I'm gone. It's just so dramatic. For me, it just sound weird. I don't know.
And, so as we just heard from the other student too, meanwhile, parents are probably seeing this on the news. They're seeing stuff come out. They're trying to reach folks like you. It sounds like you're texting them as well. Now, I can't imagine, and obviously thankful you're okay. I want to ask you about something else, because as I understand, you were in an extracurricular group with the suspected gunman a few years ago, and that he may have been kicked out of that group. Can you just give us some insight? Why exactly was he maybe kicked out here?
For sure. So, a little background. This was a political talk group, current events of the day. And he had continually made enough people uncomfortable where, certain people had stopped coming. And that's kind of when we reached the breaking point with Phoenix, and we had asked him to leave.
And what exactly, if you can remember, what exactly was he saying that made people uncomfortable, as you say?
It's been a couple years now. I can't give exact quotes. But you know, it
Where your stash at, dog? I've been trying to avoid saying. I knew it was something that looked weird on this whole screen, bro. It looked just like got no stash, no mustache, no beard. Where your stash at, dog? He trying to get a promotion, huh?
whether it was in that club or in class, he you know talked about the ravages of multiculturalism and communism and how it's ruining America.
And you know, I should mention, we have not been able to independently confirm the claims about the beliefs he espoused, but you know that's why we're talking to some folks like you who may have known him longer than we have, certainly. Another student who was in the group, I should mention too, said the suspect wasn't radical but tended to make more conservative positions and views, adding, quote, he was pretty normal, he was pretty nice. How do you respond to that? Could that fit into sort of your experience with him as well?
So it honestly sounds like the student is describing me normal and conservative, but I wholeheartedly disagree. You know, he wasn't. He went beyond conservatism. So I disagree.
All right. And obviously, law enforcement's still looking into very specific.
And again, I always say that too. I don't like extremists. I've been saying this for like 4 days straight because ever since Josh Shapiro's house got firebombed and they threw them Molotov cocktails inside of his house, I said, man, I don't like extremists on the left. I don't like extremists on the right. It seems like we just headed towards. I'm not even gonna say it. So condolences to the family. I hope that everybody is okay. And it's unfortunate that you got these cowards out here that want to go and grab their mother's handguns and rifles, because I'm hearing that his mother was a former or a Florida deputy or something like that. So as more information comes out, I will keep you guys informed on what's going on and keep y'all in the loop. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats. Shen C says, what up, though? I appreciate you, Shen. Shout out to you, big dog. Terrell Ashley says, I divorced myself from the black community years ago and I never looked back. The culture is so toxic and trash. I couldn't imagine losing my twin brother. I'll be out for blood. He is basically my half. Fifth Ave Phil says, Harvard now has remedial math courses, 9th grade level DEI is working. I saw the report. No way. You trolling. Mr. Joe says, liberal leaders always speak on mass shootings but never address the gun violence in their area that happens to have the strictest gun laws. Vincent Holder says, good morning, Anton, and keep up the good work. Thank you, Vincent. I appreciate you. Wrestling Montage Media says, hey, AD, we need coaching calls back. Me and my wife talked to you last year. We're having our first child in August. Also, are any bag chasers pro wrestling fans? If so, if you don't mind, AD, giving my channel a little promo, I appreciate it, bro. Hey, man, make sure y'all go and tap into Wrestling Montage Media. New child on the way. Phenomenal channel. And great couple. I love you. I appreciate you. Shout out to the Wrestling Media, and I appreciate you for supporting the platform. Thank you, my friend. Congratulations to everybody that got the courage to have kids. I don't think I could do it. Going into 2026. It's too much. Didn't y'all just see what happened at FSU? I don't know if I'm built for it. I don't know if I'm up for it. First name BR says, why blacks riding for Karmelo Anthony and not Kendrick Johnson that rolled up in gym mat? I don't know what you rolled up in gym mat mean, but I don't even know who Kendrick Johnson is, but I will definitely do a little bit of research. Let's find out why. So first of all, as we go into this whole Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf situation, I just want to say that it is an unfortunate circumstance that you got two children whose lives collided that day and has dramatically changed everything. Regardless of whether you agree whether he's guilty or innocent, or you think that he's guilty or innocent, you have to understand that it's a lot of lives that got impacted that day that child decided that that young man decided that he wanted to take another young man's life, and or if you on the other side of the fence, he said that he wanted to defend himself with a knife that was in his bag. But either way, look at the repercussions of their actions. Everything is a butterfly effect. What you do affect what everybody else experiences, and so on and so forth. And we do not take into account the lives that we ruin, the lives that we impact, the people that have to suffer from our decisions and the things that we do on a daily basis. It is a bad situation all the way around. There is no good that can come from it. Whether he's innocent, whether he's guilty, it's always going to be a life, and their lives are always transformed. Their parents' lives, the brother's life, the twin brother, everybody, the people in the school's lives are completely transformed. What was supposed to be a fun day at a track meet turned into a disaster. And now we're on the verge of a race war because everybody wants to make it about race. However, Austin Metcalf's father, the single father that was raising his twin boys, he pulled up to the press conference that was about to be had from the mother and the family. And this is basically what happened, y'all.
Now to new developments on that deadly stabbing in Frisco. The suspect's family, for the first time, called a news conference to reject some rumors circulating online. Reporter Jobin Paniker says it all changed when the victim's father walked in.
Well, this is such a tragic case, and it is sad all around, but it's also had its share of surprises, and what happened this morning is no different. We were all waiting to hear the Anthony family talk for the first time on the record. It was supposed to start at 11. 10 minutes turned into 20, then 30. The reason? Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, had walked in.
Who was not invited, he knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family.
This is where Copper's Ken King 2 says, damn, Anton, you sold out, my brother. Is it Friday? I'm in a good mood. So I don't know if people are trolling so that they can get a reaction out of me, but I'm open to the possibility of giving you a reaction if that's what y'all really want. Do y'all want me to crash out on a Friday? I got my motorcycle out. The weather is going to be good. It's going to be almost 80 degrees. It's perfect riding weather. Got my helmet and all of that stuff.
But he did it.
Karmelo Anthony is charged with murder in his son's death at a track meet in Frisco on April 2nd. Jeff Metcalf said nothing. He just stood and waited. The group hosting this told him to leave or they'd call Dallas police. The group's founder, Dominique Alexander, made this statement.
Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Jeff Metcalf was escorted out by DPD before the family arrived to speak. Ultimately, it was not a court order that made him leave, but because the owner of the building said he was trespassing. Metcalf shook hands with officers and then left. This press conference was about hearing from Karmelo's mom, Kayla Hayes, and we finally did.
We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you.
The family says they've endured threats, lies, and racial harassment over the last 2 weeks.
Our family has been under attack.
Mostly over a fundraising page they say they haven't been able to access until Wednesday. They're fighting claims they're profiting off of this or living lavishly from the funds raised.
We have endured death threats. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family.
We've asked for comment from Jeff Metcalf. He told us not to quote him. We're also told this will be the last time we hear from the Anthony family before a possible trial. But that will not stop all the talk from the outside and any more surprises that have come with this case.
So I went and got my helmet just in case we decided to crash out so that I can have the ability to protect myself because I don't want no problems. I just want to give my opinion and I want to speak, what do they call it? What do the blackity blacks say? They want to speak truth to power. I don't want no problems, man. I really don't. I'm chilling. I'm slow motion. It's Friday. I don't feel like getting my blood pressure up, cussing y'all out. I recently turned 43 years old. I'm not even a week into my 43rd year around the sun. Why y'all want me? Why y'all want me out here? This what y'all want? Huh? Want me to put my buckle up? Want me to buckle up just in case I crash out? Y'all want me to go get a black hoodie? That's what you want? See you, Tim. Well, I wouldn't be much of a content creator if I wasn't extra. Now, would I, Tiff? I wouldn't be much of a content creator if I wasn't extra. I don't know how I sold out. Did I kill somebody? Did I kill somebody? Are y'all familiar with anybody that could say that Anton from AntonDaniels.com decided to take somebody else's life? My shade back down. Did I kill somebody? What's the problem? Did I poison my community? Did I sell drugs to somebody? How did I sell out? I employ black people. I married a black woman. I got a black daughter. I pour into my community. I never left Detroit. And I do all of the things. Did I do something to somebody? How did I sell out? Interesting. Well, let's watch this second video. This is other footage of Austin Metcalf's father pulling up to the press conference and getting escorted out.
Hello, everyone. We are about to approach and get started in a few minutes.
Somebody said, what is up with the helmet? They want me to crash out, so I decided to get some protection. Yep, and I'm going on tour this summer. Every time I be thinking to myself, I'm not going on tour this summer. I don't want to bust down nobody's girl. This is what you do to me.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. So real quick, as we get started, so we can put some house rules together. If we can swing over here and swing across the wall, we have security that are here in the building. We have a blended of Dallas Police Department and security for the Next Generation Action Network. Let me make this very clear because I say this unapologetically. The Next Generation Action Network has never played with the safety and security of anything. We don't play those type of games, all right? We like to, whenever we're doing a protest or anything, everybody in the media know we don't play when it comes to safety and security. So we're gonna ask one time for it, and ask you to slide over just one time. We're not gonna ask anybody something twice, okay? I will make sure that the safety of this family is ensured. It won't happen on my watch. I just want you to know so that you can quote it. If we have to ask more than once, just know that's coming at the direction of me. You can quote me on it, all right?
So, anyways, they did escort dude out from the press conference, the father. The father didn't come in there and make us think about it. He didn't trip about it. I'm going to just go ahead and go black shirt for the rest of the day because y'all want that type of energy, and I want to be prepared just in case I got to give it to you. But, yeah, man, they decided to escort the dude out. On one hand, you can say, well, is this a safety and security issue? If it isn't, then I wouldn't trip. On the other hand, you could say, as long as he didn't cause a disruption, maybe he should have been okay being there. And then on the other hand, you can say, well, it's a private event and the owner of the building are the ones that determine whether or not you can be there. So it's not like it's a public space. But then the flip side, you have to say, well, what's the possibility of what could happen? If it was me, I would not have been treating him like a criminal. I would not have said no reckless stuff like he know better than to be here. Ain't no way in the world I would have the balls to say to a grieving father whose son was just stabbed, you know better than to be here. I also believe that it's a way. Listen, the best way to quell this, if sane heads were prevailing, if the father, for example, forget the spokesperson because I've heard enough about him. If the father was smart, if the father wanted to put his son in the best position possible, if he wanted to quell all of the problems and the issues and the stuff and how this is taking over social media, what he would have done, what he should have done is walked up to him and maybe embrace him or ask him or something like that, but have a conversation with him. He seems like a godly man. The Austin Metcalf, if you looked at any of his interviews, if you've seen him, any conversations or anything like that, he seems like a person that is reasonable. Even when he was escorted out, he shook the police officer's hand. Let me show you. I'll go back to it. When he was being escorted out, he was shaking the police officer's hand. Now, first, let me let you hear what the spokesman was saying. This is why the spokesman responded to it. Check it out.
Now to new developments on that deadly stabbing in Frisco. The suspect.
The reason?
He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family.
He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family. Somebody get this guy a coaching call from AntonDaniels.com. Just because you put on a suit and a tie and you get a haircut does not mean that you are qualified to speak on behalf of anybody. And this is how you know that they let anybody become a spokesman, stand on a pulpit, become a pastor. Anybody can do anything at any time, because if that is not the most insensitive thing that you can possibly say, that then stokes, it doesn't quell, it doesn't make anything better. The whole idea of a press conference is to give clarity, to maybe calm fears, and then to be transparent with your thoughts as far as making sure that the people know that you're communicating clearly, and hopefully you can head off anything that could happen, would happen, or quell any rumor or anything like that. But for you to say he knows not to be anywhere near this family is crazy. Is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Again, if it was me and if sane heads prevailed, you go over there, you kick it with him, and then you start to have some level of unity so that people can heal. And the problem is that we want to beef with each other so bad. Black people want to riot and tear up something so bad. White people want to defend themselves and they want to be able to get into it so bad. And people are just itching. They're itching. They ain't got nothing better to do. They ain't went to work in 2 days. They off on Good Friday. Their kids is at home. They can't wait to preach some level of racism into the whole sphere and stuff like that. They can't wait to get into a confrontation. And that is the problem with us today. That is why y'all children can't walk away from a confrontation. This is why they carrying knives in really, really good neighborhoods. They are doing this because they do not know how to have any level of conflict resolution, because they get it from their pastors, they get it from their fathers, they get it from their family, they get it from their emotional mothers, and this is the problem. This is the problem why it continues to just stoke and stoke and stoke and stoke. Why we want to beef with each other so bad? Why you hate white people so much? Why you hate black people so much? People can't wait to beef. What was he hoping to accomplish with his presence? Maybe he wanted clarity. Maybe he wanted to look the family in the eye. Maybe he wanted closure. Why you keep calling your girlfriend that said that she don't want to see you no more? What do you keep popping up at her house at, late at night, driving by, thinking that she don't know where you at? why you keep getting restraining orders against you, big dog. The same person that asked that question, why you got a restraining order from your girlfriend? What are you hoping to get out of this situation when you know she with her new man? You know he more qualified. You know he got more money. You know he busting her down for a real one. She look refreshed every single time she leave out the house in the morning. She wound up quitting her job and decided that she wanted to be a stay-at-home wife. Why you keep driving by the house every day? Can't ask a man who his son just got stabbed in his heart, what are you looking to accomplish with your, what you mean? I'm looking for something. I'm looking for an apology, answers, closure, help. How can you make sense of the logical questions that you answering from an illogical situation where your son was here today, you sent him off from school, he looked healthy and happy, and then he gone tomorrow? What are you talking about? Are you thinking? What would you do if you sent your son off to school and then next you sent twins and then it came back just one? What how would you be feeling? How would you handle this situation? What are you looking to get into the presence of a person? What do you mean? What do you mean? Honest to God, I'm telling you, these people are out of their mind. Out of their mind. Lauren says he wanted to make a scene and intimidate. With a bunch of cops there and stuff, he wanted to make a scene and intimidate. Listen, you saying you wouldn't even go there unless you wanted to, that's because you're a woman. And this is why we say women need to be quiet and get behind a man because you're emotional. This is why women need to be quiet. We don't need y'all help. We heard enough of y'all leading us to the polls. We don't want to hear nothing else about what y'all would have did. This is why y'all need to be quiet, sit down, get behind the real one, and stop talking so much. Because if you wanted to, you would. And so we don't want to hear from that because that's not how men handle business. We tired of y'all putting the battery in our back to crash out. You mean you wouldn't have showed up unless you wanted to? We know. We know. That's why we keep telling y'all to sit down, be quiet. Y'all wanted me to put the black shirt on today. You wanted this. You wanted me to sit here and give you a life lesson as a result of this man showing up to the press. Okay, well, we here now. We here now. We here now. Every time I see my chick, she be, hey, sit down for a second. I got this. And she just calm, relax, go lay down, go in her little makeup room and do what she got to do and just enjoy herself. That ain't your business. What you in men's business? What? What you running down to get the door for? I got this. I'm sorry. Excuse me. What's going on here? I got it. That's why y'all don't need to be in men's business. Stay out the way. Stay out the way. Anyways. Let me read some of these super chats. We going there today, huh? Y'all, no, I thought we was gonna have a Good Friday, but I guess and it is Good Friday. Ain't that crazy? But apparently we gonna have to go to Black Friday. First name BR says Kendrick Johnson was rolled up in a gym mat in Valdosta, GA in 2013, and it was suspected to white kids from his school. The entire investigation was BS, and he was murdered. All right, send it to my email. I'll check it out. No emotional reactions. Shout out to James Reed. I appreciate you for looking out. Says, we agree for the most part, but I disagree with you on having facial hair. I go back and forth based on the bag run you might be on at that time. Some of us work in corporate executive spaces. I understand. I'm not tripping about that. If it's as a result of you getting some money, I'm with it. I don't disagree. But I just be wondering where they stash is at. Daft Time. Oh yeah. Oh, you like the helmet? The Daft Punk Daft Time? Yeah, I like that. Shout out to my dog, Mr. Lada. I appreciate you. Y'all about to man, let me go get my helmet. Give me this. I'm gonna just keep it on my head like this, just in case. Ouch. My glasses on. Ow. Let's see what else we got going on. Take that cheap helmet back. Nope. Nope. I like my helmet and it's good. And I could talk to people while I'm riding. Hey girl, what you got going on? I'm on my way over there. AD, did you see the Anthony family purchased a new house and a new car? Yeah, she about to address that. We're addressing that in the new press conference that she's about to talk about. We're addressing that shortly. And it's that Jack-led lawyer they decided to hire that has been arrested 10 times and all his mugshots leaked. Shout out to my dog, Five Brown. Do you think this could lead to a civil war, Cisco? Nah. Good morning, AD and Bag Chasers. Mom pulled up is set up looking like Cousin It. Dad playing the backdrop is very telling. This clown speaking on behalf of the family is simply for personal gain and clout. All right, we're going to go into him in a second. I'm going to see what he got to say. Christian Hutchinson says, I listened to the mother's statement and the mother and the dad are playing respect the legal process. The lawyer is playing attack dog, which it's his job to get the best outcome from his client. Good job. I haven't heard from him yet. Give me a second. They want AD to throw on the black Air Force Ones. Kicking it with a chef says, Anton, you are the we love you. I love you too. And I love that outfit you got on too. EJ says a black shirt AD would go crazy, boss. Yoshi 504 says amazing. Austin's dad managed to not stab anyone when asked to leave. JC says he went there to instigate. His son learned from him. DJ Ace Production says, let's get it. It's Friday. This is how we do it. Shout out to DJ Ace. Head down, bag up TV says, I thought we were swapping to the black tee hoodie. My dog came with the full face for the ultimate protection. It's up today. Wino, what up, Wino? Says, hey, Uncle Anton, thanks for everything. Let me call my guy. Let me see something. What's Wino got going on? He's always going to be Wino to me, and even though his name is Gino. And the reason that is because I've been with him since he was a baby.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what up, man? How you doing?
Doing good. Just to let you know, do not go see that new movie that Michael B. Jordan is in. It's pretty bad. I reviewed it last night.
My homeboy Slimmy said that it was a good movie. Sinners is bad?
Well, you know some people that don't got good music, good movie taste. They just be saying anything.
How you been?
I've been good. I finally finished the academy, and now I'm in Arizona right now training for Special Forces.
Do you think you're gonna make it?
I'm gonna stay humble, but yeah, I want to make it bad. So I got to work for it, though.
You still chasing them hoes?
I'm not gonna say no. Well, they kind of, it's both ways. I gotta chase them, they chase me.
Oh, don't let the hoes mess up. Don't be distracted by the. See, that's your weakness. I've been telling you that for a long time. That these funky hoes keep on distracting you. Don't let these hoes get in the way of the bag.
They not. I still do everything I'm supposed to do.
All right. I'm gonna call you later.
Thanks to all your guidance. Okay.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
To all of my young bulls, let me tell you, one thing is for certain, two things is for sure. We do not let hoes get in the way of the bag. I keep telling my nephews, they keep getting caught up with, I'm too swift up on my toes to get caught up with you hoes. You keep on getting distracted. I said, bro, what you got going on over there? Man, she just so bad. I said, dog, stop getting caught up. This is why you need OGs in your life to give you some guidance. Shout out to my young bulls. The ones they was dealing with was funky. Darnell Phillips says people love to spit that privilege rhetoric. The father of the Metcalfs got removed, so I guess it doesn't exist. Oh, that is a good one too. Mr. Murph says, AD, you cooking, baby. Let's keep that Aries energy. I got you. Pink Pill says, hi, Anton. Be quiet. Be quiet watching. Became a sub. Been quiet watching. Became a sub. And this is my first live. I love it here. Welcome to all of my people that's new to the show. Shout out to the Pink Pill. I love you being here. Thank you for continuing to rock out with us. High Tolerance says, dive into Dominique Alexander's checkered past. Arrested for bodily injury of his ex's 2-year-old son. Last one I'd want to speak on behalf of my family. Y'all said the past gonna keep up with you. MVMS Esports says, I teach middle school esports and videography. Just joined the Bag Chasers. Your insight on live stream and editing technique was amazing, and I use it in my class. Shout out to the people that's leveraging the information that I'm giving inside of the Patreon to run it up. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Head down, bag up. TV says, there it is. Now it's all the way up. I'm all the way up. Christian Hutchinson says, if Metcalf father came with good intentions, his lawyer contacts Anthony Lawyer and broker a deal. These are very affluent people. They are not dumb. AD, Letitia James says the 92% saved democracy. Yeah. We ain't worried about what she's talking about because I'm going to bring her to the front of the congregation in a second. We'll get there. I was going to leave Sheriff Pike. E.B. Miles Davis says, but your wife, she begged me to stay. The movie Life. Not too soon, not funny. I like that. Quinn says you need better protection for your chromosome. Okay, well then, Quentin, why don't you send me some recommendations? I need better friends. My friends don't send me no recommendations. Shout out to Quentin. Brambo says, has the Maryland senator been to E or W Baltimore, East or West Baltimore? Truth Hurts. Shout out to Truth Hurts. Y'all remember Truth Hurts, the singer? Shout out to Truth Hurts. Chadford Moore says, Centers was good. I'm getting mixed reviews. Some people saying it's really good. Some people saying it's really bad. The Marketer J says, I know that collar on that white shirt be dirty. Shh. Yeah, okay. You want to see the collar on my white shirt? I'll show you. Bow, 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 bow. These is what my what's in my white tee? And my white tee. And my white tee. See that? That is what the mark of the collars look like on my shirts, all right? Just because you niggas is dirty N-words. Sick of this. I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Y'all got them dirty necks? Y'all got them dirty necks? Y'all don't take showers in the morning? I see it's going to be a long day today. We might have to cut this one short. Let me read some of these cash apps. Let me see something real quick. They got dirty necks out here. Shout out to Mr. DJ. I appreciate you on Cash App. Shamira McKay says, trying to pay attention, but distracted by the wrist work. Oh, you like that? Ooh. This one is special. This one is special. Oh, my God. Look at that. Look at the wrists. They don't make them like this no more. They don't make them like this no more, Shamira McKay. Have a baby, my beat, baby. Be a millionaire. I write the check before the baby come. Who the cares? I think I'm about to become the next Elon Musk. I'm writing checks for the babies and giving free houses if I get you pregnant. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right, let's go ahead and get into the press conference, ladies and gentlemen. The mother and that guy, whoever that guy is. What is that guy's name?
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference.
If anybody want to get pregnant this summer, when I go on tour, the I Choose You tour, I'm going to start this over from the beginning because I want to make sure that we get this right. When I go on the I Choose You tour, if I get you pregnant, I got to make sure that you have a house paid for, and I'm going to make sure you straight. If you're gonna be my baby mama, I'm going to make sure you good. You hit the lottery. You go listen, but you're gonna have to try to get pregnant. You're gonna have to try to get pregnant. And I'm giving bonuses for women that are just getting out of their relationship with their dusty man that was talking negative about me. So if you can catch him on camera, for example, if you secretly record him, listen to me. Hold on. Before we get into this. If you can secretly record your man talking negatively about me, right? If you secretly record, this is a part of the I Choose You tour VIP package. If you secretly record your man talking negatively about me, and then you just so happen to get out of a relationship when I come to your city, and you try to get pregnant, if you wind up getting pregnant, you get a bonus. All right, you get a bonus. In addition to you being able to get a house to make sure that you can comfortably raise my son in, you also get a bonus, and I'll make sure you good. Get you a car, right? We get them the baby mama special, the Porsche Macans. We're gonna get them the baby mama special, the Porsche Macan paid off. You can choose between electric or gas version. And we're gonna get you a house. We're gonna get you a home. It's gonna be fully paid off, and we'll take care of the property taxes and the insurance for the rest of your life. We'll put it in your name. Don't worry about it, baby. If you put extra effort into getting pregnant, I'm gonna need you to read between the lines, and you may win a house. You may win a house this summer, but you gotta record him talking negatively about me before you get out of this relationship. Even if you out of it temporarily while you with me, and then you go back into the relationship, don't worry about it. Just hit me up, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. Make sure you get fit. Make sure you get your life together, because if I choose you too, then it could be a life-saving moment. You can be relieved from all of that rent that you paying, everything that you got going on. You can 100% change your life. Last night I went to sleep. I said, you know what? I'm not even going to do the tour. Today, because I got so many people being dusty in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and reinstate the tour. Tour back on. Tour back on. For anybody that want a house in your respective city, when I come to the city, I might be staying there, but it's yours. It's yours. All right? It come with stipulations, though. I'm going to have to put that in the paperwork. Don't worry. We'll talk about it. We'll work out everything out before you try to get pregnant. Anyways, let's get back to the press conference. This is the representative and the mother speaking about what happened. Take a look.
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note.
Lisa, you gotta try to get pregnant, Lisa.
What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion.
Is he supposed to be a lawyer, y'all? Y'all tell me in the chat, is he supposed to be a lawyer?
Close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf, because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot,
Is that the father right there? Is that the father? Because I know that that's the mother. The mother is going to speak. I'm going to fast forward to her in a second. Is that the father?
Not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited.
Is he talking negatively like about the father like this? I'ma just tell y'all real talk, straight up. This is not of God. God ain't in this. God ain't nowhere in it. I don't care who say that they a minister. I don't care who say that they ordained. I'm telling you that God is not in this. The godly thing to do as a minister. I'm not a minister. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I'm going on tour this summer. So don't hold me to the same standards as you holding him. This is not the actions of a person that is respectful of the pulpit and that is of a God. Because God ain't nothing in this. All he had to do was move forward with the press conference and say, listen, condolences to the family. I want to make sure that I address this issue, and I want to let y'all know and clear some stuff up with regard to my family. He didn't even have to speak on him. He talking about disrespectful? Come on, fam. Stop.
Was disrespectful. And on the other foot, I will not, as that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who was not invited.
This is silly. This is crazy.
That is inappropriate to be.
This is crazy.
But he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate.
He don't even know how to speak.
Racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it.
He trying to get famous,
the
y'all.
Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what going on,
He's trying to get famous, y'all.
That was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit. Not just as an advocate, but as a black man, as a father, as a protector, in community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an
He's trying to get famous.
Disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Karmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go, let's be clear, The family has not received one dime. Any of the media could have verified this. But we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false, lavish life of this family.
Actually, they are getting money now. They are now about to start being dispersed funds as a result of it. So even if he's saying this right now, it's a white lie because they already know that the money is coming. Then this is why they're already in anticipation and spending the way that they're going to spend. Now, if you can justify it or not justify it, on one hand, people are saying, hey, their address and their home is being put online, and so that is a safety issue, which I agree. That is a safety issue. And if people decide that they want to donate, then they can donate. If they want to donate to the defense fund, or if they want to donate to make sure that they help the family, or if they want to donate in order to support the family, that is their right to do so, regardless of if you agree with them or not, regardless if you agree with the case or not. It is their right to be able to do so. And let me tell you why it is their right. I'm going to be as objective as possible, and I'm going to just tell the truth. I'm not on anybody's side. I don't have a vested interest in this. It does not benefit me one way or the other. But this is what I know for sure. When people don't agree with on the conservative side, right, whether it be Daniel Penny or whatever, nobody can hold them accountable for getting funds donated to their causes or getting their lawyers paid for or anything like that, because it happens both ways. Whether you conservative, whether you liberal, whether you want black, you white, most of the time when the case becomes public, even when the liberals are super mad at a conservative because he defended himself in a court of law against whatever it is that he's being convicted for, they absolutely positively donate, or they add resources, or they have some super PAC paying for the lawyers to make sure that the guy 100% get taken care of. On the flip side, I may not necessarily agree with whether or not he's innocent or guilty, or the whole thing that's surrounding the case as far as what's been reported on in the news, but I am not going to sit there and say that people should. I'm not going to donate because I don't want to, but I'm not going to criticize somebody else. If that's what you want to do with your money, you should be able to donate to the defense fund to make sure that the family is taken care of. That's your business. That is your business. Both sides, either way, all of them get funds donated to them so that they can have a fair day in court. I have no problem whatsoever if somebody is getting funds that is being voluntarily donated by the people to make sure that they got a defense fund or do whatever it is that they got to do. That is on him, because it happens on both sides. So we have to be objective. We have to be objective and say that it's fair. If it's fair for one side, it's fair for the other. I'm not interested in donating to it. But I can't tell people that they can't donate to the defense fund of somebody else when they want to do it. That is up to them. And no, it is not backpedaling. It's being objective. I'm objective to remove emotion from this because I have no dog in the fight whatsoever. And I could just call it straight down the middle based off of what I see, a spade being a spade. Now, people may disagree with me, but that is being objective. More than one thing can be true at the same time. You can have a defense fund based off of whatever it is that people want to donate. At the same time, I don't have to believe that you are innocent. But it is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That is their money. They can do whatever they want to do with it. You should not be criticizing it.
$800,000 home.
Does it look good? No. But that's their money. If people want to donate to it, then they can.
Purchase Escalade in private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Karmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative.
Sound like they're going to be getting the bag and a check once that funds start getting distributed for whatever that around-the-clock security is. Come on, let's be for real. We know that retroactive pay is going to be real. Nobody is just doing nothing for free. I 100% believe that they're going to get retroactively paid, and this is going to be a come up for some people.
The family has not withdrawn And just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account.
So what does that
But
mean?
this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was able to call, Give, Send, Go, everybody in the media, in these news outlets that I've never heard before, could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed.
They gave me every information that I needed, every piece of information that I've needed. You know, I heard this guy speaking on a clip, and that's why I was incentivized to go and find this. He was using all kind of wrong grammatical. Like, y'all not going to tell me that these people are just lawyers. If these people are lawyers, then anybody could be a lawyer. If you are a Room 9 student, you definitely could be a lawyer. These people just talking any old kind of thing, and they just saying anything that come to their mind, man.
Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraud.
All right, I'm tired of hearing this guy. It looks like he took up 20 minutes. He took up 20 minutes. I want to hear from the mother.
About me.
Hold on. He's talking about
because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands, okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things, and we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay? So after today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know. I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm gonna just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby.
Worser thing. I'm not the sharpest knife in the tool shed. Is worser a word? Give me a second. Let me look that up. Somebody in the chat, let me know. Because it may well be, and I just don't know. AI on Google says worser is an archaic and non-standard word for worse. It was used in older forms of English, but is now considered outdated and generally avoided in formal writing and speech. So basically, he's speaking Ebonics. Hold on. Did he say worser things have been said about me? What the heck is going on out here in these streets? Somebody said, who cares, Anton, you throwing now? So you saying that I can't, if somebody comes on a public platform to hold a press conference, that I can't evaluate what it is that they're saying? I can't do a review video of that? So if you, because people do review videos of me all the time. Sometimes they don't like me. Sometimes they agree with me. That's their prerogative. He's going publicly and he wants to continue to get famous, and now he's using the word worser. Give me a second.
After today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know. I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm gonna just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You ain't gotta inbox me, you ain't gotta tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony.
Whenever black people want to deflect away from the thing that they're being held accountable for, They always frame it in the form of a testimony. Just be careful, y'all. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Whenever black people don't want to take accountability and whenever they want to try to justify the thing that's been found out against them, and I don't know what's been found out against them because I'm not interested in knowing anything about him. I don't care more about the case. They always try to frame it in the form of a testimony, and that's my testimony, and I overcame the person that I used to be, and I'm not to be judged. Based off of that, I'm to be judged based off of the worser things that I do now. That's what people do. I don't want to hear from him. I want to hear from the lady. He's been talking for 20 minutes. Give me a second.
My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Karmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas, searching for a better life.
North Texas.
Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband works hard every single day to provide for us. To make
This is what I'm trying to figure out. All right? This is what I'm trying to figure out. And forgive me if I'm a little off, and I'm always open to being wrong, but I doubt it. Why is the woman the one that is sitting there having the press conference and talking instead of the man? If something happens that then requires for a statement to be made or for something to be communicated on behalf of the family, I'm doing it. She not even going to be in the public eye. I don't want her visible. I don't want her on cameras. I don't want her nothing. Hey, you stay in the house. You focus on taking care of business. I got this. Why is the woman the one that's always, why is the man sitting in the background? Unless maybe he got a stuttering problem. I don't know. But why is the woman in the one in the front talking and the man is in the back crying?
sure we're the best financial, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. And wake up.
Y'all said that she the stepmother? Somebody verify that for me before I take that as law.
This tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo
Shout out to you, big
and the
homie.
Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about.
That's a fact. I agree with that. Nobody should be threatening and calling other people. Got too much time on their hands, and for you to be doing work on your computer to try to figure out where somebody live, and people that be creating these fake memes and these fake Photoshop pictures trying to stir up something and putting out addresses online, those people should be prosecuted to the furthest extent of the law, because this is a thing that we shouldn't have inside of our inside of the United States of America.
The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, have
She's
been
the reader.
overwhelming.
Okay, I got you.
The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms.
Yeah, that's not cool.
My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death.
Hold on. Give me a second. I want to show y'all something because I seen that scene earlier today. I gotta go for a second. Give me a second. Let me see something. Karmelo Anthony press conference. Mother. Give me a second. Let me see if I can get this up here real quick. Because y'all got to see the acting. The acting is atrocious in this case. I'm not saying that they're not emotionally affected, but the acting is atrocious, y'all. Check this out. Hold on.
As well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death.
Yo, dog, he did that right on cue, didn't he? Hold on, check it out. She said, and his mental health has been deteriorating day by day. He says, oh, Jesus. Come on, big dog. Come on.
Health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death.
Is this a simulation? Is this a simulation? What am I looking at here, man? I'm not gonna act like I don't see what I saw. Communication is just as much body language as it is what's coming out of your mouth. Why did he wait till she said that before he went into the side? Oh, it's mental health. Yes, this is crazy.
Health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured.
Oh man. Jesus Lord. Got his Kendrick Lamar beads on, his Minister Farrakhan bow tie on. This is so funny, bro. I can't do this. I just can't.
Death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds.
God, Lord have mercy.
And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do.
I'm just letting it play out. I'm not saying nothing else because y'all keep saying stuff and I don't want to be the bad guy. I'm chilling.
We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process.
There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the phenomenal cliff notes of the press conference. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and y'all been working my nerves. Y'all been really working my nerves on a Friday. That's for sure. Got me changing my clothes, grabbing helmets, crashing out. Don't work my nerves. Don't work my nerves. I'm coming to a city near you. Cynthia Haynes says, applause, black man. I love the quality of the sexy, masculine maleness within you. What's up, Cynthia? You gonna be on? You coming to the city? Okay. I can't wait to meet you. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Christopher Mayberry says, AD, why when you disagree with black people, you become an enemy? I was called a bootlicker last night because I said the dad didn't have a fanny pack, only to prove his arm was in a brace. Cuz, man, people are emotional. Chill, I'm sorry, Anton. Your head is not shaped like a milk dud. I got something else that's shaped like a... Never mind, let me be quiet. High Tolerance says, dude does favor Karmelo, but why doesn't mom identify as an Anthony? Might be on some common law-ish is you ain't my baby. Terrible People Podcast says Anton is out here looking for those guys like Chauncey saying F Kane while choosing their baby mamas. Gas gods in the building. Be easy on the Porsche McCann. Just got my daughter one, big dog. That's what we do. We get them for our daughters and our baby mamas. We make sure that they good. Jay Johnson says, what up, AD? Good to see y'all back, Chasers. I missed y'all. Happy Friday. What up, Jay Johnson? AD, what you think about over-under game one for Detroit Knicks? I got a little something on it, and thank you for all of the wise back Chasers knowledge. It's in New York, so I think the over-under is like 7. What is it, 7? Let me see. Knicks, Pistons. Game one. You want over-under on the final score or what? Let me see. NBA playoffs. Let's see. We got Pistons, New York on Saturday, April 19th, 6 p.m. The line is -7.5. Over under is 225. I think that they should be able to beat the 220. 220.5. I'm gonna go with the over. And the Knicks -7.5. I'm taking the Pistons. And I'll put 1,000. I'm gonna put 1,000 on each just to make it fun. I'll put 1,000 on each just to make it fun. I got a little something on it. Thank you for the wise back chasers knowledge. Now, don't do what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I think. All right. So I don't want y'all saying, you told me to. No, I didn't. I didn't tell you nothing. Pops looked like he was in room 9. Someone get this man a tracksuit. Shout out to Night Jade. DJ Ace Production says, Anton, these women's phones stay on 5%. How you expect them to keep an electric? Just plug up when you get home. You know what I'm saying? Mark the Guardian says that speech was for the good old building fund. Shout out to you, Mark the Guardian. Victor Williams Jr. says the buttons on that vest was holding on for dear life. Keelan, shout out to Keelan Murray says, yo, Anton, you're the greatest morning show. You're that very popular radio host on every movie that starts at the beginning of the film in the 2000s compliment. Yeah, I like that. I do like that. Thank you, Keelan. I think that I put on a pretty good show for the people. Future Al Sharpton, yuck. I agree in the show. He trying to get some visibility. Rush King 19 says, AD, he want to be famous. That's why he keeping saying his network over and over. He trying to plug his network and make himself look good. Agreed. Never miss an opportunity to promote yourself. Jasmine Crocker, School of Law. Where can we read the room? Manuel AG says, he sounds like he might be Carmelo Anthony's real father. Honey Dip in the building says, Anton, I literally said the same thing. The mom and the dad should have shown empathy towards Austin's dad. The spokesperson is awful and he needs to be fired. Yeah, I don't know why they got a spokesperson in the first place. Mama with her bump cap on, referring to the deceased as the Metcalf boy while extending condolences was blatantly disrespectful. I didn't see what she said. I didn't hear her say anything that was disrespectful personally. He said his company name about 20 times. Michelle says, we got to normalize speech therapy for adults. Dang. The Witch Doctor says, the Next Generation Action Network website says they focus on LGBTQIA. We've seen this before. The parents may need another spokesperson. Hold on, wait a minute. Next Generation Action Network. Is that what it's called? The Next Generation Action Network. Oh, they got the No Justice, No Peace. Voting rights, legal advocacy, our divisions, where we stand, issues, justice and policing, voting rights, in the filibuster, issues. We are committed to addressing all of the issues that affect the Black, Indigenous peoples of color. In America, we believe in attacking these problems at the root by addressing America's problem, systematic racism. We can begin to improve the lives of the community while shrinking the economic wealth gap that has plagued our country since its infancy. I don't see anything about oh yeah, I see it now. LGBTQ plus rights. We so stupid. We are the dumbest group of people on earth, man. I'm telling you, bro. We are the dumbest group of people on earth. So dumb. Let's see. It says the initiative is a collaborative effort between the National Generation Action Network and our partners to stop the violence and discrimination against individuals who identify as queer, transgender, non-conforming, etc. The liberation of all people. We believe in the natural birthright of all people to define themselves. We are committed to creating a reality that our people are not discriminated against or attacked because of their identity or orientation. Transgender rights, marriage legalization, and yeah, all that. Okay, I see y'all. Yeah, that's a mess. That's a mess. Let me read some of these other super chats and then we'll continue on with the show. That is a mess. Everybody want to be a part of the LGBTQ. He's giving Jasmine Crockett vibes, says Tony Wilson. A.R. Smitty says, we be laundering money, dog. Facts. Correction, the Room 9 School of Law is we be laundering money, says A.R. Smitty. Abe the Hunter says, check out his booking photos, pimp named DL. Jay Ben says, buddy got sassy expeditiously, the tie-dye behavior. Aaron L says, when the woman speaks, it draws empathy. High Tolerance says, ninjas will keep using I'm from Oak Clip as a flex. OC has some rough edges, but some nice established areas. Definitely not North Philly, Chester, PA. Calumet, Inglewood, Fifth Ward, or Southeast DC. My girl Mika says, AD, what's an amplification? It's Mr. Lot. What's up, Mika? What's up, baby girl? He pointed at his mental health. AD, this got to be Tubi movies. He forgot his head was hurting. Yeah, he had to get an aspirin at that moment. AD, you didn't play the part where the minister said he was a proud Democrat. Oh, man. He talked for 20 minutes. I didn't want to sit through all of that. Greatness to Work says they are speaking about a particular social media influence here who has been spreading lies. She was called out because it put them in danger. What's her name? What's her name? Say it. No excuses. Lifestyle Rocky Cage says, what up, AD? I see a lot of emotional investments in Karmelo's situation. I'm far from it. I'm not affected no matter what the results are. Whatever happens, my bag chasing will never stop. Salute, bro. Facts. We got to get that money. If it was the other way around, would Black Lives Matter be everywhere? Says Bam Bam Lynch. Whiskey Pierre says Anton. Right solutions, stay out of the media, send family condolences, help if needed, utilize the money to help their children as far as aid in the process. Eric S. says, what's the cone to cracker ratio in here? Somebody time out Eric S., please. Robert Malone says, teach your kids to it's okay to take the ass whooping. At the end of the day, be scared to fight because all of this stress for his family. Black, the Ninja Network sounds like a great value. BLM. Shout out to my dog Spaces. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right, y'all, let's get into things that's really happening out in these streets. Like something that I called out the other day, objectively speaking, I called it out. Marco Rubio is saying that the United States of America is within days of walking away from peace talks with Russia and Ukraine because he's saying this is not our war. Check it out.
I think it's important to remind everybody that the Ukraine war is a terrible thing, but it's not our war. We didn't start it. The United States has been helping Ukraine for over the last 3 years, and we want it to end. But it's not our war. I want everyone to understand that. And the reason why I make that point is the president has spent 87 days at the highest level of his government repeatedly taking efforts to bring this war to an end. We are now reaching a point where we need to decide and determine whether this is even possible or not, which is why we're engaging both sides. As you know, Ambassador Witkoff has had not one, not two, but 3 meetings with Vladimir Putin to determine the Russian perspective on this and understand what it would take for them to end it. We've, through General Kellogg, myself, and others, have had repeated engagements with the Ukrainians. So we came here yesterday to sort of begin to talk about more specific outlines of what it might take to end the war, to try to figure out very soon, and I'm talking about a matter of days, not a matter of weeks, whether or not this is a war that can be ended. If it can, we're prepared to do whatever we can to facilitate that and make sure that it happens, that it ends in a durable and just way. If it's not possible, if we're so far apart that this is not going to happen, then I think the president's probably at a point where he's going to say, well, we're done. You know, we'll do what we can on the margins. We'll be ready to help whenever you're ready to have peace. But we're not going to continue with this endeavor for weeks and months on end.
Yeah, okay. So 2 things could be true at the same time. So let me give you my honest thoughts, my honest initial thoughts based off of what Marco Rubio is saying. And I'm going to read these Cash Apps shortly also. What Marco Rubio is basically saying is that this ain't our war. And we're not going to continue to fund it. We're not going to continue to give weapons. We're not going to continue to give money. We're not going to continue to give grace. And we're not going to continue to be a part of this. And so, listen, and I agree. Because if we just going to start ending wars, if we're going to start playing politician in every single thing that we do, even though we have been playing politician, and we've been doing it not because we just care. We've been doing it because a lot of people been getting rich because war is profitable for a lot of companies and a lot of executives. So a lot of people getting rich off this war, then got rich off this war. And he's saying that, listen, if we can't come to peace talks within a matter of days, then we going to go ahead and bow out, and then y'all can go ahead and do whatever y'all want to do, and y'all can figure it out as y'all see fit. We not going to continue to step in the way of y'all killing each other and decimating y'all countries. North Korea, South Korea, Russia, China, United States of America, Europe, all of these people is paying attention and got a vested interest in seeing this. Nah, we're not going to keep doing it. So that's one way, right? That's the first thing. Because again, multiple things can be true at the same time. The other side of it is that I said it the other day and I stand on it, and that I'm going to be objective across the board. I am going to be objective across the board. This is one of the rare fumbles that my guy, and I love him to death, and I still rock with him, and I'm 100% conservative all the way, Republican. I believe that my vote was absolutely the right vote 100%. But I got to be objective in saying that Trump said that this war will be ended on day one. Now, he did preface it by saying that the war should have never started in the first place, and if he was still in office, we would have peace. However, he did say that he was going to end the war on day one. Now, I'm satisfied with the alternative because I don't think that we should continue to give our dollars to Ukraine, and we should not continue to try to make nice with Russia. But we just got to be objective and call a spade a spade. It is what it is.
So we need to determine very quickly now, and I'm talking about in a matter of days, whether or not this is doable over the next few weeks. If it is, we're in. If it's not, then we have other priorities to focus on as well.
Mr. Secretary, Michael Gordon, Wall Street Journal. The State Department said yesterday that a framework had been presented to all sides, to the Ukrainians, to the European officials, and to the Russians. What does the framework say? What issues does it resolve?
I'm not going to tell you what the framework says, because when you start negotiating these things through the media and so forth, they fall apart. And it's a broad framework. It's a framework that gets us into a position to see, look, there are going to be differences. No one's saying it's going to be done in 12 hours. But we want to see how far apart it is and whether those differences can even be narrowed, if it's even possible to get movement within the period of time we have in mind. And so we've talked about outlines with both sides. I thought we had positive meetings yesterday. Obviously, the Ukrainians have to go back home. They have to run it by their president. They have to take into account, their views on all of this, and we hope to hear back from them very soon. But we need to figure out here now, within a matter of days, whether this is doable in the short term. Because if it's not, then I think we're just going to move on from our perspective. The president feels very strongly about that. He has dedicated a lot of time and energy to this, and there are a lot of things going on in the world right now that we need to be focused on. So this is important, but there are a lot of other really important things going on that deserve just as much, if not more, attention. So we want to do everything we can to be helpful. We had a good meeting yesterday. I thought the French, the British, the Germans were very constructive, were very helpful. We thank them for hosting this, and hopefully we'll have another meeting early next week at some point. We'll have some more definitive answers about how close we are to actually making progress. But this isn't going to go on forever.
Mr. Secretary, we obviously know I don't talk fast. In your conversations yesterday with the Europeans and the Ukrainians, I'm sure you spoke about security guarantees for Ukraine in case of a ceasefire. Could you give us a sense of what that could look like? And is the U.S. ready to back up any eventual European reassurance force for Ukraine?
Well, that gets
They're going to have to start turning the plane off before they start doing these interviews, family.
to a level of specifics that we're not ready to discuss publicly yet. Obviously, the term security guarantees came up because they come up in every meeting. We've heard about it. And it's not an illegitimate desire. Every sovereign nation on earth has a right to defend itself. Ukraine will have a right to defend itself and to enter into whatever agreements it wants to enter into on a bilateral basis with different countries and so forth. So, I mean, it was discussed, but I don't, and that'll have to be part of any sort of conversation. Ukraine, in order for there to be peace, we recognize that Ukraine has to feel like it has the ability to defend itself from a future attack from anyone. Every country in the world has that right. But so I think everyone recognizes that Ukraine's ability to defend itself is going to be a part, it's its right as a country, and will be a part of any agreement. But we're not working yet on that level of specificity. I think that's something we can fix and solve in a way that's acceptable to everyone. I think we have bigger challenges that we need to figure out whether it's even possible within the short term. I can tell you this war has no military solution to it. It really doesn't. It's not going to be decided with, neither side has some strategic capability to end this war quickly. And so what we're talking about here is avoiding thousands and thousands of people from dying over the next year. We're trying to avoid that. We saw what happened last weekend with a missile strike in Sunni, where people died on Palm Sunday. We're just going to see more like that on both sides. We're going to see more of that. We're trying to prevent it. But we're not going to continue to fly all over the world and do meeting after meeting after meeting if no progress is being made. So if they're serious about peace, either side or both, we want to help. If it's not going to happen, then we're just going to move on. We're going to move on to other topics that are equally, if not more important in some ways to the United States.
And I agree. In a nutshell, I'm sure they're going to ask him more questions, but I largely agree. I think that this is not our war. It never was our war. I don't know why American taxpayers, because that's the thing. Like, it's our money. When y'all say the United States of America and they giving money, no, we're giving money. It's your cash. It's my money and I want it now. It's your money. And so when we giving our money to support a framework or a war that we never asked for in the first place, we just woke up one day and it was like, oh man, Russia and Ukraine. And I'm like, and it was all over the news. It was on every single TV station, every news station. Woke up, it was everywhere. Everywhere that you could possibly think of. Ukraine don't work. I was like, okay. And I was all, you know me, I'm always trying to figure out where the money is. How does this come back to us? What is this going to cost us? Everything is going to cost us billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. And it's just so much money, but no reason. I just don't understand it. Just endless wars and endless, all of this, man. So much death and dying. It's like, for what? We be killing ourselves over anything. And I don't understand it any more than I understand people that are fighting over territory, Crips and Bloods, GDs, BDs, all of these people. Even in my own neighborhood when I was growing up, it was a Sconies, 8 Mile Sconies, 7 Mile Bloods. Then you had 6 Mile, Finkel Ave. Then you went over to the east side, and then they had the red zone over there. And I was like, this ain't even us. As a young boy, I was like, this is not even us. I said, what do you mean, Anton? I said, we got this from the West Coast, Crips and Bloods. What do you mean, Crips and Bloods? Ain't no Crips and Bloods supposed to be in Detroit, Michigan. And you know what the weirdest part about the whole situation is? I'll tell you what the weird part is. The weird part about the whole situation is I see people, right? Rappers, non-rappers, dudes all over the place. I'm 43 years old, right? I see dudes 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 years old. Bloods. And I'm like, how? How? How are you a blood? That predates you in an area that you're not from, that you'll probably never visit. How are you ordained something from the West Coast that wasn't even supposed to hit your purview in the first? How did you join something that's not even from here? The fuck? Like, nobody asked the question. Like, hey, shout out to all of my 8 Miles. Shout out to the Sconies. And they would be like, Scony down. And I was like, like, Tom, you coming? I was like, and this is the honest to God truth. Every decision that you make from the time that you're younger to the time that you get older is going to be a life-defining moment. It's going to be the difference between life and death. Freedom or being locked up in a cage with Felice Johnson. Rich, poor, healthy, unhealthy. Every single moment in your life is a butterfly defining moment. And it was like, yo, Tom, you coming? I said, where y'all going? Yo, we got into it with, I said, who is we? The homies over there got into it. And I was like, and this is the honest to God truth of what happened. And I remember I was 11 years old, 11, 12 years old. And I was like, and this is exactly what I was thinking. I'm going to tell you what I was thinking, and this is what I said. This is for all of you young boys out there. And I was thinking to myself, but there's some hoes right up the street. Ah, I said this, but I was thinking to myself, but it's some hoes right up the street. And I was like, all right, I'll try to catch up with y'all. That's exactly what I said. I said, all right, I'll try to catch up with y'all. Man, me, my dog Marshall, Lamar, Leon, all of us. It's like, man, let's go get these. Let's go talk to these hoes, and then we gonna go hoop afterwards, and then we gonna go lift. That's exactly what we did. We talked to the women, we hooped, we lifted, and then we hung out on the porch with all of the girls and stuff like that afterwards. I'm not about to go on. I don't even know that. What do you mean? I don't know them. Oh, they from the hood. They from the others. They're from the Wyoming side. Who? Who was that? Who was him? Who was he? Man, I'm not going. I had sense enough as an 11, 12-year-old to say, you know what? I don't even know them. I don't even know them. Not about to hang out with y'all. Next thing you know, somebody got shot. I'm straight, dog. It was like such a Maurice got shot. You mean Thirsty? We called him Thirsty because his lips was always chapped. Yo, Maurice got shot. Thirsty? Pooh Bear was over there scrapping. Maurice got shot, and his nephew ran up on him. Pooh Bear, dog. Thirsty was room 9 in real life. He was just real strong. Lips was always trapped. Couldn't really hoop that much. Threw his shot up like that. He could scrap though. Pooh Bear, he wound up going to jail for like 15 years. Honest to God, on everything I love. Pooh Bear went to jail for 15 years. Thirsty, I think, got shot. And then the nephew, he wound up D'Angelo. Shout out to D'Angelo. Crazy, dog. Crazy as hell.
Baby.
What up, though?
What up, though?
Hey, you remember Thirsty?
Heck yeah.
What happened to Thirsty?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Didn't Pooh Bear?
Slid off the spectrum.
Yeah, I know. As he was retarded, but he had that retard strength.
He wasn't all the way there. Hold on, bro.
He was room 9, but he had that strong strength.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he was straight up retarded. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Thirsty. I don't know what happened to most of them.
What about didn't Pooh Bear?
The one I know I heard of is Roberto.
I knew about Berto.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what Cheese at.
What didn't Pooh Bear go to jail? Pooh Bear got locked up.
I know.
The
other one did.
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo, I know he went for sure, but he out now. He's been out for a minute.
Dog, we never cared about that. All we cared about was hooping and hoes.
Yep.
Hooping, hoes, and lifting. That's all we cared about.
And when I went to school with them, you know, them niggas, you know, they tried to make me part of the 8 Mile. I said, nah, ain't no 8 Mile. I said, y'all trash.
Yeah, none of that. All right, let me call you right back.
All right.
Nah, we not doing that. We not doing. Listen, everybody is from the hood. Everybody got a story. It don't matter if you from Detroit, Philly, New York, Los Angeles, down there in Atlanta, somewhere in Texas. We all come from the same hood. We all come from the same places. We all face the same decisions. That's why, honestly, it's a little bit more difficult for me to even have the type of sympathy that y'all might have and saying, oh, man, he didn't know what he was doing. He was just a kid. Shit. I knew what I was doing. I knew exactly where the guns was. I knew where all of this was. I knew who was about to scrap. We knew who was in trouble. We knew who was going to go to jail. We knew who had the knives. We knew exactly what was going to pop off, and we made an informed decision as young boys, young, 12, 13, 14 years old. We all grew up. The dudes that I grew up with, I'm still cool with to this day. We all had decisions to make, and as a young bull, we got into some mess. Most of it was around women. Most of it was around something like that. But we always was smart enough and situationally aware enough. We was taught that by our parents, situationally aware enough to where we not about to put our life in danger. We not going to jail, and we not about to put ourselves in a position to be locked up. No death, no dying, no getting shot. That's out of the question. Any one of those three is out. If we could do anything around that, but any of that, I'm out. I'm out. And you telling me that a 17-year-old didn't know what the hell was going on? I'm going to call you a lie. I'm calling you a lie. 100% I'm calling you a lie. We knew. How he didn't know? Shout out Clayson, Allison, Case, look it up. Tell me your thoughts. No, y'all send it to me in my email because I'm going to forget about it. I see Ice Cube taking a big 3 to Detroit. What are your thoughts? I don't know nothing about that. E.B. Miles Davis. I don't know nothing about it at all. Mitra 1776 says, hey, Anton, I've been working a lot, so I haven't been able to catch a full show until today. I hope you have a wonderful day and keep smiling, King. You are my favorite to watch. Hashtag Terminal Way. DTW, if you know, you know. What up, Mitra? My girl, shout out to my people at the airport, Terminal A. Yeah, shout out to Terminal A. I love y'all. I just found out that the departures had a valet. I didn't even know. I just found that out as a grown man. What up, Mitra? I love you. Alex Oubre, what up to my dog? Alex says, I'm a student at FAMU and I run the FSU campus every day at 12, starting at the student union. I just happened not to do so yesterday because I had an assignment to turn in. Ain't God good? God be working mysterious ways, don't he? Make sure all my bag chasers, make sure my dog Alex is safe, man. Shout out to you, Alex. I appreciate you. Let's pivot for a minute. I want to talk about Letitia James, and we're going to go into the last part of the show. We not quite there yet, though. Shout out to Letitia James. We're going to spend 10 minutes on this, not a minute more. Not a minute more. This is what I want y'all to tell me inside of the chat. I'm going to do an unofficial poll. Unofficial poll. Do you believe that Letitia James is going to go to jail for mortgage fraud? What they giving for mortgage fraud? What they giving out for mortgage fraud? I know they had stiffened the penalties after 2. Oh, no. I didn't know it was that stiff. Oh, she got to go ahead and get her GoFundMe up on this one. Did y'all know the penalties? Did y'all know what you can get for mortgage fraud? A lot of y'all saying no, because she's an NY. Some people saying, yeah, she's cooked. Let me show y'all what they giving out for mortgage fraud. 30 years. Let me say that again for the people in the back. 30 up to, it could be up to 30 years. Federal mortgage fraud conviction individuals can face up to 30 years in prison and up to a $1 million fine with the specific penalties depending on the details of the crime and the applicable laws. Now, obviously, I don't think that if she's ever gotten convicted that she would even remotely face 30 years, but dog, I did not know you can get up to 30 for 30 years. Wow. Nah, dog. Let me know in the chat if y'all think that Letitia James is going to go to jail for mortgage fraud. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications.
The Trump administration accused New York Attorney General Letitia James of mortgage fraud. They've made a criminal referral to the Justice Department seeking federal prosecution. The Attorney General's office responded saying this: Attorney General James is focused every single day on protecting New Yorkers, especially as this administration weaponizes the federal government against the rule of law and the Constitution. She will not be intimidated by bullies, no matter who they are. Andrew Cherkasky joins me now. Is Trump playing his own form of lawfare in New York?
Well, I think they say people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Right.
It's beyond ironic that the allegations that she's now facing stem from the...
On the low, he been holding on to that joke ever since they told him that he was coming onto the show to speak on Letitia James. People, how you say it again, babe? People who throw stones shouldn't live in a glass house. People, stones. You better watch your mouth, because I'll break your face. Have you running around talking to the Jake. You go against me, man. 50's album was so, I've been waiting for the day, so long. It's 50. You know it's 50. That album, the Get Rich or Die Trying album, was so incredible. Anyways, let me get back to the show.
Exact same types of mortgage fraud or loan type fraud that Trump went through that incredible civil trial on, where he defended himself, and he said that those banks and those financial institutions that he dealt with had acknowledged and had their own fair opportunity to look into and do their research. The allegations against Letitia James are not quite as friendly to her, and they look quite damning. Now, the DOJ is going to start their investigation. That's going to take some time. I don't know how many resources they're going to put behind that, but if these allegations that are being put forth turn out to be true, she is going to be facing the same sort of bankruptcy and turning over of her assets to the state that Donald Trump had to through that trial.
Well, I've got a follow-on question for this. Do you remember the February meeting between Trump and Governor Hochul, New York Governor Hochul, over New York City's congestion tax? Well, the New York Post is reporting that Hochul threatened Trump over the measure. She referred to the appeal against his civil fraud case and told him, "I control the judges." Hochul is denying that report. But my question is Trump still subject to that $480 million penalty?
They need to get
How's
rid
that
of
going to play out?
Well, that appeal has been going on forever at this point. It is well beyond the normal amount of time that the appeal courts...
How do you get mortgage fraud? You get mortgage fraud by basically putting false information well, I guess there's a lot of different ways you can get it, but you get mortgage fraud by putting a lot of false information on your application in order to get approved. And I know that they certainly tightened up the laws significantly, tightened up the laws significantly after the 2008 housing crisis, because, you know, they were basically letting all of these banks get away with it in order to get people approved to push through all of these applications and then resell them as tranches. And a tranche is basically a combination of subprime with prime and a whole bunch of mixes. And the worse off it is, the higher the risk, the more fees they got. And so the banks made a whole bunch of money. And so in order to prevent people from being able to take advantage of the system again, they tightened it up and they started giving harsher penalties. And so for example, Letitia James, they're saying that one of the things that she did was she listed her father as her husband in order to get approved for certain properties. And then they're also saying that she designated the property that she got, one of the properties she got approved of, as a four unit instead of a 5 unit, because if it was a 5 unit, it would be designated as commercial, and it would be a completely different set of criteria for her to get approved of. And so lots of finessing. And it's so funny because with her having a position that she has in New York and going after Trump for fraud, yet she was doing it on a much lower scale herself, is ironic. It is 100% ironic. So mortgage fraud is basically lying, blatant lying, intentionally lying, not messing up and saying, "Oh, I made 100,000 instead of 98,000 or something like that." It's putting your father as your husband on your mortgage application to get approved because you got a greater chance, knowing that you really don't qualify. So she was out there finessing.
Look at a case like this, and he is incurring interest in the amount of over $100,000 a day for that bond that he had to put up while the court slowly goes through it. Now, the Governor Hochul piece of it is, as of right now, kind of a he said, she said type of situation where she's denying that she said these things, but they sound like things that could be said, where she's leveraging her powers in the state to try to gain some sort of power or advantage in the negotiations that she's got with the White House. All of that's going to play out. I don't see that being a criminal matter at this moment. It's more political infighting between them. But I wouldn't poke the bear, and that bear is Donald Trump.
But I want to know, is Donald Trump ever going to have to pay $480 million?
Well, we're waiting to see what the appeal court says. But that's just the first layer of
But as we
appeal.
wait...
Somebody said all those rules are BS anyway. How are all of the rules BS? Do you know why they have rules? Rules are established as a result of somebody breaking the law or leveraging the system to absolutely cause what we know as a mortgage crisis and a housing crisis and a meltdown and an impending recession as a result of it. Listen, you can't say all of the rules are BS when we seen what happened in 2008. You can't say all of the rules is BS when we see what happened in 2008. How are the rules BS? Y'all don't believe in the rules? Y'all don't believe in the rules? I believe that also a lot of these people were banking on, 100% banking on Trump not getting back in office so that they can continue to do what they've been doing. And okay, Gone Postal 28, let me ask you a question. He says rules weren't BS when Trump was under fire. What was the rules? What rule did he break? What rule did he break? People don't even know. And, you know, unfortunately, we live in an era where you can just go and try to Google and try to figure something out. So they're going to throw some talking point that I'm going to absolutely decimate as a result on in a second. What rule did Trump break? Tell me. What rule did he break? Vonnie Willis is next too. I believe that also. What rule did Trump break? Do y'all know why they came up with that judgment of $480 million over there? Got nothing, do you? You don't even know. You're just getting your talking points from Roland Martin, huh? I got you, Dre, with the K. I'm about to read that super chat shortly. 2008 was the worst time ever. Worst time ever. Y'all don't even know what she convicted him for, do y'all? I don't even know. Don't even know whatsoever. Anyways, yeah, I think that she's going to definitely lose her job at the least. I'm not so sure that she would actually go to jail, but I think that she's going to lose her job, and I think that she needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law if it is true. And it is a very easy case to build against her if it is true that she did commit fraud anyway. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read a couple of super chats, and I want to check one thing, and then we're going to go over to the last part of the show. Make sure y'all hit a like, too, and make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Just Christian says she tried to say Trump was bullying her, but she bigger than Trump. Y'all so ignorant. Y'all so ignorant. Dre with the K on a Friday. Friday. What's up, Chasers? My best friend mom passed today of cancer. Keep us in your prayers. My baby girl turns 11 tomorrow as well. Time is really flying for all of us, man. Man, shout out to your best friend, man. Keeping them in our prayers. Time does fly. You got to cherish it. You have to cherish it. Cherish it like never before. That's why I go ahead and have a good time and do everything that I want to do when I want to do it. I'm ordering me a Rolls Royce. I already spec'd it. I'm ordering me a Rolls Royce and I already spec'd it. Shout out to Mr. DJ Shamaro McKay. ESDC says, why you trying to sound like 50 Cent the Pimp song? Trini Life says, bless up, King. Thank you to everybody on Cash App. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Dre with the K. I got your best friend's mom in my prayers, and happy birthday to your baby girl. All right, y'all. I want to have this conversation just to remind y'all to be mindful, do your research, and make sure you're informed before you jump out here off of a ledge and jump yourself into something that you can't get out of. Everybody, and when I say everybody, a good friend of mine, somebody very close to me said, Anton, I don't understand what is going on out here in these streets. And I said, well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and try to explain it to you a little bit better. But everybody is saying that their mortgages are doubling. And I want to give you some context so that you can avoid it, so that your mortgage doesn't go from $3,832 to $7,200 a month. And then you wind up losing your home. This is what happens, all right?
So something life-altering has happened to me and my family, and I've been debating about whether I want to talk about it or not. But I just saw a TikTok of a guy that...
You think I should get the Navigator over the Rolls Royce? The Cullinan? The Nav over the Cullinan? You know, my tour gonna go much easier if I pull up in the Cullinan over the Nav. It's like the Corvette, right? If you go out of town, the Corvette is a big deal. But here in Detroit, the Corvette is just a Corvette because everybody that get a sports car usually get a Corvette. So if you get a 911 or you get a Ferrari or something like that, you out of there. But if you get a Corvette, you might be pulling them next to Unc, and he got a Corvette also. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That went through the exact same thing. The only difference was, in my opinion, it's worse for my family than what he went through. But I just saw that, like, he got through it. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my story. And the huge reason why I also didn't want to share it is because it's embarrassing. And I know it's like our fault, and we should have done our research, and we should have known better.
The lamb is coming, SC.
The blame is
on us. We already got that on order.
But you live and you learn, and we've definitely learned from this experience. But what happened is that we purchased a home last December. We moved into
Email me, John.
So we had sold our first home, and we were able to purchase the second home. It was a beautiful home. The price was higher, definitely higher than our first home, but it was something that was doable for us, and it was our dream home. And we thought that we were going to raise our children in this home, and we were going to have this home for a very long time.
When y'all buy these homes, right, and you say, okay, well, you know, it was more than double of the house that I had, and the mortgage is $3,800, $3,900 a month, which also does not include maintenance and utilities and all of these things. When y'all think about it and you say, all right, I'm about to be paying $3,900 a month, basically $4,000 a month for 360 months, right? When y'all think about that and y'all make that decision, do you think to yourself like, man, this is a lot of money and I might get laid off, or life may happen, or I may have a medical emergency, or I might get pregnant again and have to quit my job or something? Do y'all think about that? Do y'all think about that? Like, how secure do you have to be? How much money do you have to have in the bank to put 20% down on the home and still get a mortgage? I'm assuming that they put 20% down and get the mortgage at $4,000 a month and still have some left over to where you feel comfortable. Is it like 6 months? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? So that means that you would have to have what? $50,000 or $100,000 in the bank? What? I know interest rates play a factor, but let's say you got a 30-year mortgage. How much is the home if you get a $39,000 or $3,900 or $4,000 mortgage? Now remember, that mortgage also includes insurance and it also includes escrow, so that's not the total cost. But in general, that's not the mortgage by itself. But in general, when you're paying $4,000 a month and your insurance and your property taxes and your mortgage, like how much do you feel secure with in the bank to where it's like, okay, I'm secure that I'll be able to get through these 360 payments?
And the mortgage was 3832, which might seem high for some, but for us it was fine. We could do that. And so then in February, we received the new mortgage for the year that had like the escrow and all that, and it showed that we had an escrow shortage of $23,000 because whenever they had calculated the mortgage and the property taxes whenever we had purchased the home, they calculated it for the land. They didn't take into account that a home was going to be on the land.
No, they took into account. You guys are not taking it into account. So a lot of people are getting these new bills. Remember when Kamala Harris was running around saying, hey, we don't have enough homes in inventory, so we're going to build 3 million new homes and let migrants continue to come over here inside of the United States of America. Remember when she was saying all of that? Well, one thing that people are not considering when they get these homes or you buy a home and all of that is that with your whole narrative of generational wealth, the value of the property goes up, which means your property taxes go up. And most mortgage companies want to protect their investment, so they don't let you pay your property taxes separately. They include it as a part of your payment to the mortgage company. So let's say your mortgage is, I don't know, $2,500 a month, and then your property taxes is $800 a month, and then your insurance is, I don't know, $100 and some dollars a month or something like that. And let's say that total, it gets up there in the 35, 45, 50, whatever. Let's say in total, it get up there to the $3,500, $3,600, $3,700 total. Your mortgage is 20 something. And then the escrow that they need, escrow is basically the amount of money that they're holding in reserve so that they can disperse it over to the county when your taxes is due. And what happens is if you have an escrow shortage, so let's say that they built your home, right? And you got it from Pulte Homes or Lennar Homes, and they build you a home, and the property taxes that you're paying on the land that you own is assessed without the property on it. That means that it's going to be little or nothing. The property taxes that you pay on it is not going to be relevant compared to when they reassess it and they appraise it once they build that property. So now your lender, your mortgage person sold you on, hey, you should get a new build. Hey, you should get a new build. And when you calculated how much money it was going to cost and a bank said, hey, listen, this is what your mortgage, your 30-year fixed rate is going to be. They are not responsible for educating you or telling you that your property taxes is going to explode. It is going to be significantly more because when you improve the land and build a house on it, then the value of the property is going to be up significantly more. Which means that you're going to have an escrow shortage. The mortgage company is going to disperse the money over to the county no matter what. They're going to send it over there. They're going to collect it from you on the back end. So then what you're going to have is a payment that jumps from $3,832 to $7,200. The amount that you're still paying to the mortgage company is going to still be the same. But the escrow shortage to catch up on those property taxes is going to be a killer. The biggest thing that kills you when it comes to a home is not the mortgage payment. All right. Most people can scrounge up. They'll go and drive Uber. They'll do whatever it is that they got to do in order to get that mortgage payment. They'll lose their car. They'll lose everything. But they're going to keep a roof over their head. That's the last thing that they're going to let go. That and a good piece of box if you a simp. That and a good piece of box. They're going to make sure that they take care of that. The biggest costs that you're going to incur is the maintenance and the property taxes. The maintenance, the property taxes, homeowners association and HOA fees. I beg people every single day, for the love of God, do not, should not, could not, will not You should not go and get a property that has HOAs. It is, especially if it's a condo, especially if it's a building, because it is going to go up. Because then when they got to fix the elevator, or y'all having structural damage, or it starts to sink because you bought it over in Miami, your HOA fees are going to explode, because they're going to have to get that fixed and repaired so that the entire building don't collapse and everybody lose the value of the property. I'm telling you. They built these little rinky-dink homes. They value it based off of whatever the comps are in the area, right? I don't even like building in these subdivisions that they all look like the same homes, because there's no differentiation, and it's much more difficult to sell it because you're competing against the company that built the homes, because they probably building some more right next door in the area or right across the street. You're competing against them. You're competing against your neighbor who got a cookie cutter home that looked just like yours, and that home is a piece of shit. The walls is thin, the insulation ain't in there right, the trim and the molding ain't right, everything is messed up. You're going to be dealing with stuff on that home all day, every day. You're going to be trying to get a warranty, get them out there to fix it. Oh man, there was water leaking in the basement. It got this. If you don't have an individual home that's built from somebody that actually understands the soil, got the surveyors out there, did it the right way, trust me, I know. Make sure y'all jump the bag. Make sure y'all tap into the Bag Chasers. Link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Join the Bag Chasers, because we got Block Club coming up, and I give you real life game from a person that actually builds homes. I built them from scratch with my own money. I don't finance it. I don't push paper through the banks. I don't ask for financing and none of that. We put our own money up. The second most important decision that you ever make in your life financially, and you're probably fumbling. You're probably messing it up. Actually, the third. The third biggest financial decision that you ever make in your life is going to be the home that you purchase, because most people's net worth is tied up in their homes. Second biggest financial decision is the career field that you go into, because you have to be able to earn money, and you are your own biggest asset. The biggest financial decision that you make in your entire life is the person that you close your eyes next to. It's the person that you get with. Whether you have a baby with them, have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. I write the check before the baby come. Who cares? Or, because you got to close your eyes next to them, and they be staring at you in your sleep because they obsessed with you. You're going to be dealing with stuff in that house forever. 100%.
So whenever they realized, oh, there's a home on the land, then it gave us an escrow shortage of that $23,000. So our mortgage went from $38,32 to around $7,200 a month. $7,200 and change. So 3832, affordable. 7,200, no way we can do that. No way at all.
Which means that now you are going to be in jeopardy of losing what? Your home.
Whenever somebody had mentioned how, a new home, they probably did calculate at land value, so it's probably going to go up. I was thinking, oh, maybe it'll go up $1,000, and I was prepared for that. Like, okay, we can do it. We can even though to me, like, that's expensive, like a $4,800 mortgage is a lot. It is, Angela.
For me. Most people are built to rent.
I was like, we can do it, no problem.
Most people are built to rent.
But to go to $7,200 a month, like, no, I live in Texas, and I could probably be living in a mansion or something close to a mansion, paying $7,200 a month. Our home is not.
But guess what? No, you couldn't. You know why? Because you would still have to pay property taxes on the mansion. When I think about what type of home that I want, or what type of home I'm going to move into next, a lot of times, the thing that I think about? I don't think about the cost of the home, because I could eat that. The home is going to be paid off no matter what. Whatever it is that I buy or whatever it is that I build, I'm going to do it cash. The problem is that, and my biggest problem, and I be thinking to myself, oh, property taxes. It's the property taxes. Every time it's the property taxes. Property taxes is going to be the determining factor for what your rent going to be when I'm going to charge you in rent. Because like here in Michigan, your property taxes is different, whether it's your personal property, like the property that you live in as your residence versus if you rent it out. Yep. It could be sometimes 40 to 50% more depending on how you designate it. You got to understand your area. You cannot live in a mansion for $7,200 a month. You know why? Because it's not going to be $7,200 a month. It's going to be significantly more because you're going to have to pay property taxes. Property taxes are the devil. The devil. It's actually, property taxes is a demon. Income taxes is the devil. Income tax is the devil.
Or I could have 2 homes in Texas for that price. I could have 2 mortgages to pay $7,200 a month, even three homes. So that was just ridiculous to me. And like I said, I know we are to blame. We should have done our research. The realtor that we had, she was not a good realtor.
No, don't blame it on the realtor.
The mortgage company was the seller's mortgage company, the one that they went with and recommended. So I'm sure, they knew what they were doing. They knew that they calculated land value, and they showed us that 3832 because they knew that's what we could afford, and we would purchase the home. And they knew that if they had told us the truth of how much it would be, that we probably wouldn't have purchased the home. So they knew what they were doing. So while it is our fault, we should have done the research and found out, that the price was only land value and it wasn't calculated correctly. I still feel like they, just being decent humans, they should have let us know that it's going to go up. So we have this escrow shortage. Thankfully, I called. So the mortgage company sold it to another mortgage company. So I called them, and what they did, I let them know, I'm like, we're going to sell our home. We're going to put it on the market. Like, we can't afford this. So they said, okay. So what they did was they stretched that $23,000 escrow shortage. They stretched it out for 3 years, which dropped our mortgage to now, I think it's $5,166 is what we're paying right now, which is still a lot.
Like a trap. It's a trap.
But our home is for sale. It's been for sale for a little over 40 days now.
I knew
we
it.
haven't had any interest in it. So
I knew it.
This is already.
I knew it. Yeah, I knew it. I didn't get this far in the video, so I'm seeing this part for the first time. People are moving out because they can't afford their homes. Once them property taxes hit, it force you out of your home because you can't afford it along with the mortgage. Stretch it out for 3 years like a Klarna payment. And ain't nobody interested in buying that home. Nope. Y'all gonna have to move. You're gonna have to move into an area that you can afford. Stop moving into these areas with these high values that you can't afford. It's not built for you.
We're going on our 2nd month that we're paying that $5,000 and change on the mortgage, and every month it's like, praying somebody, we need a buyer, and we dropped the price. We've already dropped the price 3 times.
No interest.
It is what it is. We'd never expected in our wildest dreams that this would happen, but people need to be aware whenever you purchase a new home, you need to make sure that you ask your realtor, ask the mortgage company, are you calculating it on just the land, the property taxes, or are you calculating it as though there's a house on that land? Because there's.
So be careful. Everybody is complaining because everybody got pushed into home ownership, but they truly couldn't afford it. I like both. I don't necessarily care about owning the place that you live in, but then if you got to do it, then you got to do it. I prefer buildings. I like concierge. I like pools that's maintenance free. For me, I like having them bring my food up to the house. I like if something break, you could just call somebody to do it. Yeah, man, I like both. When you start to calculate it honestly, it starts to make sense depending on what your lifestyle is. So that's just me in particular. Anyways, great week, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all for helping us continue to be successful and making it through a whole nother week. Give yourselves a round of applause. I had to change my shirt to the black shirt because y'all was really pushing me today. Y'all was really trying to push me over the edge today. Huh? We got after hours tonight. Just Christian says she should move to East Cleveland. $7,200 a month. She'll be done in a year. Is it that low? Shout out to my dog, Class E. You have a blessed Easter with your family and friends. Thank you, God, for sending your son to pay the price for our sins. He is risen. Shout out to Class E Beats. I love Class E. Make sure y'all go and check out his channel, too. 392Q says, military vet and don't pay him. I told y'all better get with these military vets. I know a guy that got prosthetics. Better get y'all a military chick. My girl ain't got to worry about nothing with the VA home loan. Shoot at closing, they owe me money. Home cost $220K when I bought it. Shout out to 392. Successful. I like that. Mr. Youngblood City says the explanation why the payments go up was easy to understand. Please clip that part up. ASAP. People need that. I got you, Mr. Youngblood City. I got you. Whiskey Pierre says, Anton, before I bought my house, we had property lawyers. They went through all of the paperwork and gave us the proper information. Go where you can afford. Facts. The goal is to keep a roof over your head and to be, be pretty secure. AD, looking at using your property for a private burial for family, it is a tax exempt. This is how people did with their family back then. Okay. All right. I'll look into it. Absolutely, Denise. Denise, you're looking so pretty. Looking so pretty. Anyways, y'all stay focused, stay up. I'm gonna see y'all on after hours tonight. And hopefully Molly got her clavicles out there for y'all again. It's up.